Hi, it's Bernie Goldbach, Top Gold on Audioboo, looking at Foursquare because Phil Swaro, who is Daylight Gambler on Audioboo, was mentioning how Foursquare is forking, splitting it up to Swarm, a new app, as well as Foursquare. So let me just show you something here. I've got a few check-ins, over 5,000, and look, almost 100 mayorships. It goes up and down based on a local tribe stealing my mayorships. Connected to about 1,000 people. I've written some tips. It says 53 badges and 206 tips. Okay, so now it says I'm in Otuma's Cafe, and someone's liked that or done something with it. Let's have a look. Notifications. Jazz, like my check-in. Never met Jazz. I think Jazz lives in Clawheen and works up the hill in a scientific place. Okay, now here's the story now. Activity. Don't want that because it's people all around the world. Explore. This is what's interesting, and Phil had mentioned this. So even without asking it to search nearby for something, it's telling me that I'm near Clonmel. It's rated 7 on a scale of 0 to 10. The Tesco Extra visits ends up at 7.7, and Crazy Noodles 3/4 of a mile away. A lot of this stuff is based on me having been there. I and the Wandering One Moleskin have been there. That's what it says. It's detected that Wandering One Moleskin's got some recent activity in the town. I think that's why it's doing that. Okay, we think you'd like the showgrounds: Rucking Joe's, McDonald's, Mulcahy's, Dunn Stores, World of Wonder, GameStop, Iceland, Bafani's, and so on. As I've been to some of those before. And then my friends are at the bottom of this thing saying they've offered tips to some of it. But let's just say I'm interested in stuff like coffee, because I'm interested in coffee. This is what I like about it, and Phil kind of mentioned this. So I'm touching coffee, and up comes Neve's, My Culture Cafe, and Lazy Bean Cafe. Interesting stuff. Otuma's, Quimby's, Hickey's Bakery, Meads, Flanagan's, the French Quarter Cafe. Flanagan's, French Quarter, and Meads are located further away. I've been to a few of those. And then below that are people that I know who've left tips at different places. That's handy. But let's just say I want lunch, a word that in Ireland a lot of people don't use, but Americans would when they visit the town. There's a lexicon inside of Foursquare that picks up the fact that Rockin' Joe's got lunch 6.7 out of 10. McDonald's, Neve's, and Lazy Bean, they're all good recommendations. Subway features as well as some of the pubs in town and fast food places. Now, what I want to try to get the students to do is they want to, in search of creativity. The lexicon doesn't include creativity. Does anything show up for creativity? Well, look, room of pure creativity, a co-working space 44 miles away. Interesting stuff. I should do this, and this is something on shout out to you, Phil. I'm taking this YouTube clip and I'm making it into an audiobook. Moleskin. Now, if I'd done something in a pub or a place where I used moleskin, like made an audiobook and referenced the word moleskin in the title, I should have done that inside of Foursquare, mentioned it in the check-in on Foursquare, for example. So I'm going to try to get my students to interpret or interfere with or inform Foursquare with stuff, with key terms like that. Let's just see, because I just mentioned the word audiobook, is there anything worth exploring in the local area regarding audiobook? Let's see. I don't think so. Nothing here right now. Just nothing here for specials. Nothing here for. There is some stuff with best nearby because I know it's near lunchtime. Nothing will be trending in Clonmel because I don't have data points. And the more thing, pretty interesting. So like if I want to go for outdoors, I know what's really good about outdoors around this area. It does pick up the town, the Rock, Carrick-on-Suir, Horse and Jockey, Liberty Square, and stuff like that. But it doesn't pick up a local walking tour, a trail along the river, and a few other things. So it's this is something that's easily populated with more information. One last thing, it's a good thing that Foursquare and Swarm are spinning off, because that's what Facebook's done. They acquired Instagram and kept it separate. They're forking Messenger's a separate app, and YouTube as a separate app from Google Plus, from Hangouts, from Google Voice. Right. If you are leaving behind stuff that's interesting enough to talk about, then perhaps if you do use Foursquare, maybe you should actually make that kind of comment in the tip or the check-in. Around my desk, we used to work here, Tipper Institute. They just changed the name. That's the old Xperia, Phil. Sorry, if you're watching on audiobook, you can see me through this with a yellow Lumia phone. This needs about €90 of repair. I still record on this old school ICT MX20. And here's one of the Wandering Moleskins one of the students turned into me. I'm Bernie, Top Gold on good social networks. Thanks for watching. Check me out, audiobook.fm/Top Gold. Bye for now.